Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. Today, we are joined by Florida star edge rusher Princley Umanmielen. Princley, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule, man, to talk some ball with us.
For sure.
How's the off season going? I mean, I know you guys have been doing some spring, summer work, but are you guys on break right now, or are you guys still practicing?
Nah, right now we started summer workouts. It's June. We started summer workouts like at the end of May, and we have after this week coming up, we have a break. But yeah, we just been getting after it, doing some workouts.
That's awesome. Give you guys a little bit of time to recharge, but not that you need like my introduction, but for those that maybe haven't, followed college football as closely in recent seasons, but Princley's, the top graded edge rusher per Pro Football Focus in the SEC conference. Kind of a breakout season last year in 2022 for you. 27 pressures, 6 sacks, and you were a plus, run defender for your position as well. You kind of popped up on my radar when I was, scouting edge rushers for the 2023 NFL draft. Definitely somebody that I'm going to have my eye on coming up this season as well. Opted to return to Florida this past season. For you, before we get to how you arrived at Florida in the first place, I wanted to ask you, what led to kind of your decision to come back this past year? Because I honestly was expecting you to declare just because I was excited about seeing where you were going to land. What led to that decision for you?
Ultimately, I feel like what led to that decision was like I feel like I'm a first day guy,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that like I had an all right season last season, but I know that if I would have went out last season, I probably would have dropped lower than I should, because I know like for a fact that I have like first day type of skill set and talent.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, just watching your tape, man, like I definitely see the traits, the athleticism. I mean, you're long, you can rush the passer. We'll get into some of the run defense stuff because I definitely want to talk about that because I feel like that's pretty unique. But tell everybody a little bit about your journey to Florida. Kind of what made you feel like Florida was the place where you needed to be at and spend, your college playing career.
So I had when I was in high school at first, I'm from Texas, so like that area, like it's like a lot of Big 12 schools around that area, like
Mm-hmm.
Texas, Baylor, OU, and stuff like that. So I was getting recruited a lot by Big 12 schools, but I was also getting recruited by some SEC schools. And I had committed to Texas before, I believe it was before my senior year started that I committed to Texas, and then like I felt like what made me commit to Texas was that I was just like I lived 10 minutes away from there. So like, and I was there all the time. Even if I wasn't on a visit, I would just go up there hanging out with the players and whatever. So it felt like I was already there. But like, so I felt like that decision was like an emotional decision. So then I had like the players of Texas would call me and they would tell me, they would be like, "Man, you sure you want to come here?" Like they would tell me like they didn't like Coach Herman and stuff like that. So I was
Okay.
like, damn. But that was just a small part because I really wanted to play in the SEC. And I had seen like Charles Menahue, he went to Texas. He had left in 2019, I believe, or 2018. And he had 10 sacks and he won the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, and he still went like fourth or fifth round, I believe. And I'm like, damn, like the NFL really don't like respect Big 12 like D linemen all the way for real. So then I was like, I know if I would go to the SEC and I got 10 sacks and won SEC Defensive Player of the Year, I'll probably be a first rounder off rip. So I was like, yeah, I think I really need to play in the SEC. And then I could have went to Texas A&M. They was on me hard, but they had like 10 defensive ends, and I'm like they really just recruited me for depth. Like y'all already got hella defensive ends. I'm not gonna throw myself in that fire like that. And then like Florida was a school that had like they were winning. We were winning at the time, and I was looking at their Florida had offered me late. They didn't offer me until after I decommitted from Texas. And they were in the SEC. They were in a place not too far, but not too close to home. Like I'm from Texas, so I'm used to the heat. I wasn't trying to go nowhere cold. And I had looked at their depth chart, and when I was coming in, Zach Carter was really like the only defensive end they had. So I was like this is a place that I could possibly play early, and they're winning, and it's in the SEC. So I liked it.
Yeah, definitely. The SEC, man, getting to play, the best of the best. I know that's probably what they sell you guys, especially on your recruiting visits and stuff. But I mean, it's real. You get to play
Yeah,
top competition, and I feel like it gets you ready to play in the NFL. So, um,
yeah.
I wanted to talk a little bit about just last year. I feel like the first time that I really um, like you really caught my attention was that Texas A&M game.
Mhm.
I think you finished the game with like 7 pressures, had a nasty forced fumble sack in the fourth quarter of that game. What kind of zone was you in that day? I mean, you were on fire. They had completely no answers for you.
So that a lot of people don't know this, but I think not like that was the first week that B Cox wasn't on the team. You know Brandon Cox?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I talked to Brandon.
So before that, before that, I wasn't starting on our third down package.
Yep.
I don't know why. I should have been, you know what I'm saying? But
You said it,
so
not me.
so whenever he had got released off the team, that was the first week I was starting on that third down package. So I always had the pass rusher, but I feel like I just had finally got the opportunity to start on the third down, and also I was playing in Texas, so I live like an hour 20 minutes away from Texas A&M. So all my family and friends, like my parents, they went to the only game they've been to since I've been in college was the first time we played Texas A&M when I was a freshman, and I
Hmm.
didn't even play that game. So like this was the first time in college that I was playing in front of a whole bunch of family and a whole bunch of friends, and I was playing against a Texas team. So it was just like before the game even started, I was just telling myself like I had to snap, I had to go crazy in front of the home team and in front of my family and friends.
Well, you definitely showed out for everybody. I'm sure they enjoyed that performance, man. Because that game specifically, I mean, I've talked to several different people about that game and your performance. That strip sack, man. It's that was cold. I want to ask you a little bit too, like you talked about playing in the third down packages, but Florida last year, um, they asked you to do a lot of different things up on the front. Like it wasn't like you were just lining up in a wide nine, standing up in a 2 point stance like every single play. You had your hand in the dirt. They were playing
Yeah.
you some like 4-eye, some 3 tech. It looked like as well in the games that I watched early in the season. What was that like for you? That experience, and then like just talk a little bit about holding up at 245 pounds against the run, because I felt like that was what kind of made you unique, was how well you played the run at your size.
Yeah. I think so. I have been playing like that since I came in, like playing a little bit of 4-eye, 5 and three technique, and I feel like it was just like I'm grateful for the experience because now I feel like me being an outside linebacker now, being on the outside is just like it's gonna be easier now, like taking on tight ends the same size as me and offensive tackles. But I think a lot like what the biggest part that plays into it is my lower body strength. Like I feel like that really helps me hold my ground against those bigger guys because I'm like I have the heaviest squat on the team. Like I squat 700 pounds.
I saw that video. I was about
Yeah,
to ask you about that.
yeah. So I squat more than all the big dudes squat. So I feel like just having those legs, strong legs, like just help me anchor down against those bigger guys and take on double teams and things like that.
Yeah, it definitely shows up on tape, and like you said, setting the edge against those tackles and tight ends. I feel like I'm excited to see how you transition to that role, because it's gonna be fun to watch for sure. But you guys have a new defensive coordinator coming in, Austin Armstrong, who I think is like one of the youngest dudes at his position in all of college football. But
Yeah.
we've already talked a little bit about you playing more on the edge this season. But what kind of changes are going to happen for your all's defense this year, and then like how's your role as kind of like this one of the stars on the team coming back? How's your role going to change?
So as a defense, we really like a lot of the stuff is not hasn't changed too much. I feel like we'll be more aggressive and more successful third down wise, but a lot of the stuff hasn't, like a lot of our schemes and things like that haven't really changed too much. Me personally, the way my roles changed is I'm moving to like a true outside linebacker position. So now I'm gonna be an outside linebacker. I'm gonna like you'll probably never or rarely see me on the inside, and I'll be dropping in the coverage more than I did last season. And like going through the spring, I felt like I did a pretty good job of that and dropping into coverage and tackling in space and things like that. But yeah, that's mainly like what I'll be doing. And like on third down, you'll see me rushing and things like that. Like, and people don't notice, but like they like I feel like they've always knew because even when we had coach our defensive coordinator what's his name, man, Coach Grantham, when I was a freshman, he tried to move me to outside linebacker too. Like I feel like they've always seen me at that position, but things just didn't align. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like this is like the first, like this season, I'll just be a true like stand up guy. I'll probably be standing up more than my hand will be in the dirt.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. I'm excited about that because I think that role is going to be that's going to be a seamless transition for you, and definitely a place where you can showcase your skill set. But
Yeah.
um, just from my channel, obviously a lot of film watchers on my subscriber list. So can you take us through a little bit of the differences between like rushing inside and rushing outside? Just for you as a pass rusher, like, do you set up your moves differently? Because I know space is different. Like,
Yeah.
on the inside, you got less space to work with. So how do you kind of go about your pass rush playing like that?
I low key feel like to an extent the inside is easier. I feel like it's easier just because of my quickness. Like
Mm-hmm.
they like usually guards don't have really good feet. And like the inside, I feel like I rush the same. I don't rush exactly the same because it's different, like space and wise. But I feel like on the inside and outside, I mainly use my feet to win my pass rush reps rather than my hands. I can use my hands, but I feel like just the like the quickness and the moves I do with my feet, I always get them stuck in the grass and things like that, and it makes me win on the rest. But I would say on the inside. Yeah, on the inside, it's just me being quick. Like I'll fake one way, do a little stutter step, and then go back outside, do a two-hand swipe. And then on the outside, I really just like to rush and bend the edge. Like I feel like that's what I do best is just get off the rock and bend. And then like if they do like overset me and try to cut off that bend, I'll just for my counter, I usually just spin back inside.
Yeah, I've seen that's what I was saying. I've seen the two hand swipe. I've seen was that a ghost move for the Texas A&M sack or was
Yeah.
that yeah okay
Yeah, it was
that's
like
what I was saying.
yeah, it was yeah, you could it was basically a ghost, yeah.
Yeah. Now you talk about that inside spin too. That was definitely something I had like written down in my notes too, just because I seen you use that counter a lot. And is that just you are you kind of setting that move up throughout the game, like hitting them with speed, and then you see their shoulders turn? Is that kind of how you set that up?
I ain't gonna the the Missouri game, I had got a sack on the spin move. I think that game I might have set him up to win on that move. But usually, like in the games, like if you watch the film in the games, I'll spin. I've done so many spins and won on so many spins, but then the quarterback will throw the ball or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever I do them, I really don't like. I don't really set up the old tackle for it. Like I feel like it's just something that comes natural to me, and I could just do it in a way where I'm not projecting it and they don't know that I'm spinning. So whenever I do, it's just like that. Like they don't know that. Like a lot of guys when they spin, they project it, and the tackle is able to recover. And I just feel like whenever I spin, I don't project that I'm spinning. It just happens.
Right. I got you. Yeah, that happening naturally definitely, helps that move be more successful. Are there any NFL pass rushers or maybe college pass rushers that you've watched and kind of tried to take moves or take specific things out of their game and kind of put it in your game?
Uh, ta Not really. I ain't gonna lie. Like I've watched some guys, but it never really like I never really. Oh, maybe like T.J. Watt. Like T.J. Watt, I like the way he rushes. Like I've watched his film with Coach Chaos, our D line coach, and like I would like to take some of the stuff he does and implement it in my game. I haven't yet though, but I would like to do that though.
Yes. Cross chop is that coming this season? Is that something you're going to try to maybe incorporate into your game?
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I've tried. Like I know how to do the cross chops on the bags, but I never tried it on an offensive tackle. I gotta see.
Okay. Yeah, TJ's the cross chop king, man. He's been annihilating tackles with that move for a long time. So,
Mhm.
can you take us through a little bit of your film study throughout the week, like mainly just as from a pass rushing standpoint? What are some of the things that you're looking for throughout the week? Maybe when you're studying, an offensive tackle. Is it footwork? Is it hands? Like timing? Like what are the things that you're looking for so that you can be like more prepared on Saturday when you guys get those one-on-one matchups?
Well, I look at like first I look at the way they set. Like a lot of offensive tackles mainly have like three different sets. Like they'll set out at you, angle, or they'll set back. So I'll look at the way like what way they set, and then think of like what moves I could beat them with, and then I'll see what guys like in the film, what guys that they want to. I mean, what moves that they went against that they struggle with, like moves that other guys hit them with that they struggle with, and then maybe try to do that. And then I'll see their hands, like how high or how low that they shoot their hands whenever they do pass rush. I mean pass day. And then I'll also look at their stance whenever they're getting ready to pass it.
Okay. Yeah, just before we get out of here, because I don't want to take up too much of your time, man, I got two final questions for you. Is there a game, on the schedule this season that you're specifically looking forward to? And, just kind of highlight the reasons for that one.
LSU. I'm really looking forward to LSU because my first 3 years since I've been here, we have not beat them.
Okay. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Okay. And then last one, man, just to put you on the spot a little bit, what's your, can you tell us a little bit about your individual goals for this season? Like what does a successful 2023 season look like for you?
Individually, I would say successful, me being satisfied, I would say not even being satisfied. Like for me to say I would like, yeah, for me to be like successful in my opinion this season, I would say leading the country in sacks.
You can do it. You have no doubts on this end. I'm excited to see you in that stand up edge role, man. That's awesome.
Sure.
Well, Princley, I just again want to thank you for taking some time talking some ball with us, and then I will be sure to drop Princley's information in the description of the video. You guys can go follow him on Twitter. I'm going to drop his link to his YouTube page as well. But thanks again for joining us, man. Hopefully we get the chance to talk at least a couple more times before this time this season, as you go through the draft process.
So appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks.